Major breaking news. There's a coup happening right now in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast right now is on fire. People are burning down houses. And Alassane Ouattara, the Ivory Coast president, he's missing. He's nowhere to be found. Nobody knows if he's dead or alive. It's like the people are fed up of his government and they are trying to overthrow him. And also they have shut down the internet in Ivory Coast. The people of Ivory Coast right now don't have access to the internet. They won't be able to post news about what is going on in Ivory Coast as we speak right now. This is a revolution that is taking place in every part of African countries. I mean, Ibrahim Traore has been an eye-opener to the African youth and to some well-meaning African leaders. This coup that is taking place in Ivory Coast, I would call this a revolution. So the people of Ivory Coast, if you have access to the internet, please update us on what is happening in Ivory Coast.
Major breaking news coming from the Ivory Coast right now. So apparently right now as I speak, there's a coup currently going on in the Ivory Coast. Apparently it's orchestrated by the military and the people of the Ivory Coast. Now we cannot confirm the exact details about this coup because the government has switched off the internet in the Ivory Coast. There's no one who can access the internet there right now, so we cannot get live updates. It's been said that the people of the Ivory Coast are out in the streets right now. They're burning buildings, they're out protesting. They said they want that president out. He has done too many damage to that country. Now, get this. It's been said that the president of the Ivory Coast, Kantara, has gone into hiding. No one knows where he is, but I cannot confirm those exact news, but I will let you know as soon as I get there. They do not want this man in power. They're saying he's basically a puppet of the United States and the French. We all know he has been getting paid to try and take out Captain Ibrahim Traore, sending his own men into Burkina Faso to do some atrocities. Now, what led to this protest? Personally, I believe the thing that sent the people of the Ivory Coast off was when President Kantara, he said he agreed that the Americans should build a military drone base in the Ivory Coast, and not just in the Ivory Coast, right next to the border of Burkina Faso. And we all know Kantara and Ibrahim Traore do not see eye to eye. But you let me know, do you think the Ivory Coast will be better off with a military president or with their current president Kantara?
Let's get started.
Africa is waking up. From the dusty streets of Ouagadougou to the urban crowds of Abidjan, a storm of resistance is reshaping the destiny of a continent. Today, we witness the fall of old powers and the rise of new leaders. In this episode, we break down the unrest shaking Côte d'Ivoire, the legacy of French influence across West Africa, and the revolutionary waves spreading across the region. This isn't just news, it's a movement. Africa is rising, and the world is watching. On the surface, it appears to be another political protest. But in the streets of Côte d'Ivoire, something deeper is stirring. Citizens are calling for the removal of President Alassane Ouattara, a man increasingly viewed as a symbol of French-backed governance and elite interests. Critics accuse Ouattara of ignoring rampant poverty, limiting press freedom, and allowing foreign interests to dominate the Ivorian economy. But the biggest grievance? His perceived loyalty to Paris, not to Abidjan. Tensions have been mounting for years. From the controversial third term to military crackdowns, the government's grip on power has only tightened. But now, with widespread unrest and whispers of a military coup, the tide may be turning. Protesters are waving Pan-African flags, chanting for justice, and calling for an end to French interference in their homeland. To understand what's happening now, we have to rewind the story. France may have granted independence to its African colonies decades ago, but it never truly let go. From the CFA franc, a currency controlled from Paris, to military agreements and corporate monopolies, France has maintained tight economic and political control over many former colonies. Leaders who challenged this system, from Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso to Laurent Gbagbo in Côte d'Ivoire, often faced violent pushback or international isolation. But the new generation is waking up. Social media, youth movements, and Pan-African thinkers are exposing how deeply embedded these foreign systems remain, and how urgently they must be dismantled. Among the figures leading this wave of change is Captain Ibrahim Traore, the 36-year-old military officer who took power in Burkina Faso in 2022. Traore's rise was swift, but not accidental. Fed up with government corruption and foreign dependency, a young, inspired military class took charge. Traore immediately signaled a shift, expelling French troops, challenging Western narratives, and forging closer ties with other African nations. He's become a symbol of African defiance, especially among the youth. To some, he is Africa's Che Guevara. To others, the embodiment of Thomas Sankara's unfinished revolution. His message is simple. Africa must be ruled by Africans. Sovereignty is not negotiable. And unity is the only way forward. Traoré is not alone. His revolution in Burkina Faso is part of a larger domino effect. In Mali, Niger, and Guinea, military leaders have taken similar actions, ejecting French troops, suspending foreign deals, and speaking the language of Pan-Africanism. These countries are forming new alliances. Not just military ones, but ideological, reclaiming identity, independence, and the right to determine their own future. While some in the West call these movements coups or threats to democracy, many Africans see them differently. They are seen as necessary corrections to decades of economic exploitation and political manipulation. For the first time in years, there's momentum, a real sense that the continent is turning a page. Pan-Africanism is no longer just a philosophy for intellectuals. It's becoming a call to action. Across social platforms, young Africans are uniting under shared messages. No to foreign bases. No to puppet leaders. Yes to African unity. Regional organizations like WAMU and ECOWAS are under pressure to serve African people, not foreign donors. Movements are calling for an African economic system, one that rejects the CFA franc, redistributes resources fairly, and respects cultural identity. The spirit of Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, and Patrice Lumumba is being reborn in a digital age. Their words are circulating again. Their visions, once buried, are becoming roadmaps. The unrest in Côte d'Ivoire may be the next major chapter in this movement. If a power shift happens, it could inspire more nations to question their ties to foreign systems and accelerate the rejection of neo-colonialism. But the road ahead is not easy. There will be resistance, from within and outside. Global powers have a stake in Africa's resources, economies, and leadership. They will not give up control easily. Yet something is undeniably changing. The old tools of control are weakening. The voices of young Africans are growing louder, and the vision of a sovereign, united Africa no longer feels like a dream, but a reality within reach. Africa is rising, not just politically, but spiritually. From every corner of the continent, people are remembering who they are and reclaiming what's theirs. This is not just about coups. This is not just about currency. This is about liberation. It's about dignity. It's about the right of every African nation to shape its own destiny, free from fear, free from control, and full of hope. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Make Africa Great, and be part of the movement. Pray for peace. Stand for freedom. The time is now.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.
And the world is watching. On the surface, it appears to be another political protest. But in the streets of Côte d'Ivoire, something deeper is stirring. From the controversial third term to military crackdowns, the government's grip on power has African colonies decades ago, but it never truly let go. Traoré's rise was swift, but not accidental. Fed up with African defiance, especially among the youth. To some, he is Burkina Faso is part of a larger domino effect. In Mali, Niger, and Guinea, military leaders have taken similar actions, ejecting French troops, suspending foreign deals, and speaking the language of Pan-Africanism. These countries are independence and the right to determine their own future. While some in the West collide, global powers have a stake in Africa's resources, economies of young Africans are growing louder, and the vision of a sovereign, united Africa, it's about the right of every African nation to shape its own destiny, free from...
Les hommes de triomphe lâchent le feu. En face, des mitrailleurs de 3 terroristes donnent la cadence. Le vacarme est intenable. Ici, les snipers sont redoutables. Sains et saufs, nous sommes à plat ventre accrochés à la caméra. Impact sur le sol. À côté. Il faut se mettre à couvert. Vite. Un peu comme dans un ultime assaut. Les hommes pensent que la victoire est proche, mais il faut surtout rester en vie pour la célébrer. Nous sommes encore loin du but. Alors pas question qu'un fusil s'enraille.
Sinon, on vérifie. C'est bon. Les guetteurs est en haut. Il va pas tout côté droite. Voilà, il faut qu'on se... Donc les gens arrière là, il faut les signaler. Qui par la droite là? C'est bon? Qui par la droite arrière là, il faut les signaler. Si déborde là, il faut qu'on les signale. Et position de...
La tension baisse légèrement. 2 terroristes manquent à l'appel radio, touchés sans doute. Ils sont supposés rester dans la broussaille à la merci de carnivores et autres rapaces. Ici, on les appelle des Hannis, des hommes armés non identifiés. Ce que l'on sait des tireurs, c'est ce turban abandonné. Apparemment, la course a été de toute vitesse.
Ok, bien.
Numutidou, l'antre de la résistance antiterroriste dans la zone est de Mangodara. Ça, c'était avant le dernier trimestre de 2021. Aujourd'hui, le village symbole croupit sous le poids des herbes. Le domicile du héros, chasseur d'oiseaux tué en septembre 2021, est en état de décrépitude. Mais ses anciens camarades et les unités militaires en opération ont fait le serment. Ramener la paix et réinstaller les habitants sur leurs terres. Même pari pour Diara Corso. Ce bastion que les terroristes tentent de protéger à tout prix. Nous sommes sur la ligne de démarcation. L'unité vient d'échapper à une mine à effet dirigé. Un engin explosif improvisé qui projette des métalliques dans la direction de sa cible. En binôme, nous étions juste à 100 mètres. La déflagration échappée à notre caméra a rasé le périmètre. Les arbres n'ont pas été épargnés par la colère de la bombe. Pour nous, c'est encore une chance.
C'est une base garde. 15 minutes max. Sur les trous, tape, 8, repli. Pour le repli là.
Une pause avant l'assaut final. Du moins.
Très grande base garde.
Répartition des sections. Tout est fin prêt. Mais au bout du fil, le capitaine Ouattao qui suit l'opération depuis le poste de commandement à Mangodara.
Oui, ça va bien, capitaine.
L'ordre de monter sur la base est revu. Lins fera le job. Son unité en jonction est de retour de la frontière avec la Côte d'Ivoire en passant par Tiebata. L'armée n'y avait plus mis pied depuis 2021. Triomphe couvrira les arrières. Mais sa patrouille était hélas dans le viseur d'un guetteur qui vient de surgir. Un fantassin en faction ouvre le feu. Les balles fusent. La trace s'engage, c'est la panique. L'homme est introuvable. Chaussures et fusils d'assaut abandonnés. Le terroriste a peur de mourir. Collège chez le combattant.
Quand j'ai ouvert le feu,
Vite apaisé par le coup de l'unité sœur.
personne. Le gars, il était arrêté sur la voie en train de nous regarder parler.
La base a été détruite. Au triomphe et sa troupe, la manœuvre s'arrête là, au crépuscule.
Les immortels sont là. Les braves soldats du 7e BIR sont là. Les braves immortels du capitaine Ouattao sont arrivés. Après une victoire éclatante dans la boucle du Moun, ils sont retournés. Les immortels du capitaine Ouattao sont là. Mettez des guerres et partagez. Les braves soldats. Les braves immortels du capitaine Ouattao. Les braves commandants du 7e BIR. Le 7e bataillon d'intervention rapide du taxicien capitaine Ouattao. Ils sont là. Partagez le direct et mettez le cœur. Mettez des cœurs et partagez. Les braves immortels du capitaine Ouattao. Les braves combattants du 7e bataillon d'intervention rapide. Après avoir installé plusieurs villages dans la boucle du monde, les braves soldats du capitaine Ouattao sont là. Les 10 représentants, les patriotes, les immortels. Mettez des cœurs pour ces gens-là. Partagez le direct pour les 10 fils. Les tigres. Les tigres. Il n'y a pas l'homme. Nous le disons très bien, il n'y a pas l'homme pour ces gens-là. Il n'y a pas l'homme pour eux. Et ils ne parlent pas trop, ils agissent avec promptitude. Les braves immortels du capitaine Ouattao, c'est la même qui n'ont peur de rien. Et ils ont déjà vendu leur âme pour le Burkina Faso. Et ils ont déjà tout donné. Mettez le cœur et partagez le direct. Quelle fierté! Ami. Ami. Ami.